Hi everybody, we're Rob and Leslie Hildebrand.
Welcome to the Chateau de la Grifferaie.
3 years ago, we sold or mortgaged everything we had to buy this beautiful chateau.
With the hope that we could create a special place of learning for young people to learn about their world and themselves.
It's been an amazing adventure so far, with so much more to come.
So come along with us as we wake this sleeping beauty and restore her to her former glory.
Hi guys, welcome to second half of last week. We had a lot going on last week, and here's the rest of what happened.
I'm in the mirror. I'm in the reflection. Okay, we're doing 2 videos a week, so it's not a fancy introduction. You said I look like a cross between a gnome and a garden gnome and what?
I don't know, the Hobbit or something?
The Hobbit? Oh, goodness. That's not any better. We're both working.
We are.
But hopefully you enjoy this Wednesday. This is the second half of last week.
I've noticed that throughout the house at different points, there's little rosettes. So it could be this shape. Sometimes it's just a round version. But we have a lot of little rosettes detailing. So our chateau is in Napoleon III, 1865. And it's interesting. I thought it would be fun to be able to go and check out all the different spots in the house where they repeated this motif. Because it's become kind of interesting how it just keeps repeating in all these little different spots in the house. Right, Bingy? Are you coming to see what I'm doing? Are ya? More rosettes have been found. We not only have them on here, slightly more elongated, more diamonds, and then there's one main medallion in the middle, but the same concept. You could always look at it like that. Which is fun. And then, isn't she a beauty? Don't think there's any on the fireplace mantle. Then at the very top up here, which I'm not sure we can see today, but I have shown in other videos. Can you see it today? No, let's try the other one actually. I think it might be this other far one. Oh yeah, and you can see it today. Hold on, I was at the wrong one. This one up here, you should be able to see today in the light. Oh, maybe not. Let's see if I can move around. Can you see that? Now you can. You see really faint? Oops, right there. There was more on the pediment at one point, but this is the only one that you can see it on. Pretty cool. We actually have some sun today. Uh-oh, someone ran into the woods. That's trouble. Not only for fleas, but who knows what's over there. Anyways, also another rosette sighting. Remember when we had these down? I don't even know if you can see. We'll see if we can find the picture. I don't think you can anymore, but on the scallops, there's rosettes. Even on those little tiny details, which I think is clever that they incorporated it even in the exterior. Of course, at our very own back doors, we have this door, and then of course the other end, another door just like it. Of course needed painting, but so when you zoom in, some of you probably remember this, but again, this lovely little rosette detail in the, and even when you go close, can you see that? Maybe I'll have to go outside, but just to show you this first. So these are actually little windows. Aren't they adorable? I love them every time I do it. But you'll see outside that you can again see the other detail right there. It's everywhere. I love seeing that repetition. And of course, one more rosette, but we did this one because I already have seen this motif through the house, but I really loved this backsplash. The tile reminded me a little bit of Downton Abbey, down in the kitchen, how they kind of did a black and white square with dots, and this has that same vibe, but it has the rosette detail, which I think is super fun, as it kind of repeats through the house and all the interesting little details. I think they are straight.
They have another closet. I'm sure they wouldn't enjoy being in the closet.
I like that you've got their little faces going different directions. That's fun. Yep.
The guys are going back up. The 3 at the top haven't been up since we've moved here. But there were hooks there, and we could tell from pictures in that old brochure that they were there at one point, so it's fun to get them back up. They may as well be there instead of in the closet. Doesn't that look lovely? No peeling paint. All the little guys up and ready to go. One more guy to go. They all are in a row. Looks very lovely. And now the arduous task of this beast and a half. Moving this ridiculously heavy pallet rigging thing. Yikes.
Dehumidifier, done a nice job. Wood is largely dry. Boy, this wood needs to be refinished, eh? That'll be fun when we have time. One of the nice things of having Leslie be our cook at Loire Valley is sometimes she tries out new foods. We got some nice scones and some homemade soup. Yum. Alors. I don't know French good enough to use the words like that.
Donc.
We got a light. We're gonna try to use a little less power on the lights. This is 50 watts, 5,000 lumens. So we're gonna hook it up and see what it looks like on the Chateau.
I don't mind that it's a little less powerful. The other one felt a little interrogation.
Yeah, it was maybe a little too much.
So I'd like it if it was a little softer.
Yeah, unfortunately it's LED, so it's also a very blue. It's like the white light instead of the yellow light, which yellow I think looks a little cooler. But
agreed. We'll
see. We'll put it on. Maybe it doesn't have the hot spots. Quite a bit cheaper.
Yeah.
50 watts, a lot less than whatever the other bulbs are. Maybe 400. Yeah. There, maybe you get a little bit better of a sense of it there. See how you can see the roof a little bit? Very cool. And that's just one. Boy, we could almost get away with 30 watts. 50 is nice and bright, but maybe more than we need. Morning. After all the storms and rains, it's got an interesting sky. It's kind of a smoky, foggy kind of morning, but better than rain. So that's nice. All right, the top area is starting to look like we want it to. It's fun to see those little guys up there. They were sitting in a closet forever, and obviously I know that deadheads of deers don't know where they're sitting, but I didn't feel good with them sitting in the closet, so it's nice to have them out and about, looking around. Again, I realize they don't actually look around, but yeah, nice. Okay, I'm not an expert on paint. Leslie's definitely the expert, but I am learning, living with her for so many years. And one of the things I've learned is that when you get a new pail of paint, sometimes, well, it's like the dye-a-lot, but not the dye-a-lot. The mix is not quite right. And we had clotted cream here, and Brico Depot. We like Brico Depot for prices, but their paint guys sometimes are good, but sometimes they're really not. And so I opened up the new one, and it is definitely different. Now, it's not probably bad enough to take it back. The good news, and this is another lesson from Leslie, is use the new paint. Like, make sure you finish up the old wall with the old paint. But look at that, it's drying differently there. You can't see that live, but you can see it on the camera. And then we'll start the new wall with a slightly different tint, and it'll just look like a shadow because the light hits the walls differently, so they never look quite the same. So I'm learning, but yeah, glad we stopped on a hard line. And honestly, the hard line, we also have the line here too, so that'll be good. That'll give us a good break. Here it is. See how different that is? Now, this is a little drier, but not that much drier. Fortunately, we had the wall color on before, so it will blend out. I like it. I like it. Leslie made another improvement. We have the halls here this is a very dark hall, and it feels like a little bit of a black hole normally. And so, you're seeing it fixed. So she picked up a mirror. We haven't hung it yet, but it completely changes this space. Like you did not know what you were walking into here, and it was quite frightening. And with that mirror now, it'll be a little higher. Hello, everyone. It'll be a little higher. She's gonna she says she's gonna put a dresser there and then hang the mirror over. But you have a depth perception. So you're kind of like, okay, I see where we are now. All right, it's a hallway. Yeah, a lot easier for the guys. So once in a while, you know, you're going through a shelf and you find something that hasn't been opened in a long time. And Leslie found a book. I think I may have shown this before. She found a book. Can you read it?
It's in English.
Lady Audrey's Secret. And then we're like, oh, well, that looks nice. Maybe we should read an old book. And then we see the front. Maybe we won't read that. Yikes. All right, Saturday morning, it's my day to work outside, but once again, we've got to finish up a project. So you just have to, it's really a bummer. I will get outside, maybe next week. Here we go. Now we got a very welcome friend today. Very welcome friend, the sun. It got down to +1 in the Chateau. It was a little bit cold last night, but the sun's gonna help us out a lot today. Thank you, Lord. Alors, so this is this the area that you discovered was actually paint, oil?
Yeah, you know, usually I test before we start, and I did the back part last summer, and it wasn't an issue. So then I started on this side, and the paint just was doing crazy things, and I'm like, I think this is different. They were slightly different colors, so I think someone must have painted the back side, and now I have to just redo.
So you got her all primed out now.
I'm getting there.
Looks great.
Yeah.
Oh, you're priming over here too? Yeah, have to prime over. Oh well, it'll come. This is our next room.
That just means 3 coats.
This is next week. Although you're already on it this week, but I'll join you next week with the wallpaper, and can't wait to see this room come together.
Agreed.
Electrical too. We're gonna do some electrical work. We're gonna trench this stuff in, get rid of this mess, and then in the modern world, you pretty much want power outlet next to your bed for your phone. So we may see if we can work that in there too. We'll see. Well, I think you can say this window's dirty. Okay, I'm gonna swing down. If you're not good with heights, don't look. Okay, ready? I'm swinging. I'm up in the window well, the one that we could never get to. But the siege ramp, my so-called siege ramp, helps me get here. And it's safe to say this has not been cleaned in a long time. So I got the vinegar out because we listened to the comments. Yeah, we actually usually use vinegar, not bleach. But that'll kill this mold, and we'll get it cleaned up so we can paint it. I think I'm gonna have to go off the big ladder to get up there. I tried putting a little ladder inside the stairwell, and I think it's too dangerous. So we'll use the big ladder for that. That's half of one window pane. You know, I've only sanded and then I got the vinegar up there and cleaned, but even from here, you can see the difference. Doesn't it look clean? It'll be really nice to get this painted. One less place for mold to have a safe house. You know, if I have time to do this, I might even go find a side-by-side because that looks so much better. I mean, it took a couple hours. It wasn't actually that bad, and the ladder got all the way up there. But for quite a long time, we were wondering how we were going to get up there and do that. And the platform made it possible for sure. But really liking the way that looks. Yeah. You know what? It was a week. It was a solid week, maybe a little bit more, but it is really nice not to have peeling paint. Now enjoy this with me, friends. Look at that, the stairs. Vacuumed, mopped, as clean as they get. Still tipping a bit, they lean a little bit. You have to be careful walking down. But all beautifully clean. And now we can start to put back the foyer. Of all the issues in the roof, this one is not the roofer's fault. Well, it sort of is. This pail was completely full. This is a basin, and it's old tin, and you can see it's been punctured many times. Now you can also see I've patched it a couple times in the past. Now what happened is as they're knocking shingles off, they would fall down and then puncture. And so there's a bunch of holes, and we end up with quite a bit of water. So I was also, there's only 2 of these in the house. That's the good news. You can see the water overfilled the pail, and went down a little bit. The second one's on the other side of the house, and but it's not open. So I was wondering how it was, and I had to go check. This is the opposite side, back of the house. And so I was thinking probably what I should do is break through the wall and take a look, because we don't want water to be leaking in there, definitely. And I noticed that there was already kind of a loose place, so I just kind of banged it a bit. And sure enough, it opened, and it's relatively dry. Now, let's see if you can see here. Okay, I'll put a light on for you. You can see that someone in the past has actually done a pretty good fix on this. They basically put a big pole at the bottom that catches everything, and it works. There's no water leaking. I mean, that water's not leaking. It's just dripping straight down from one pipe to the other. So it's adequate. And if we look down, we can see it's, you know, there's lots of debris, but it's not particularly wet. Not in terms of Chateau, at least.
I'm under the terrace, and I found some sweet pea seeds. One of my favorite things. My birthday's in July, and we would always be working at camp, and my mom would always bring me sweet peas and a birthday cake to our cabin when we were looking after kids at camp. And I haven't had sweet peas for a while. Our yard in Oregon was so soggy this time of year that they just never seemed to make it. They needed that nice prairie heat. And so I thought, let's give it a go here. So I thought, let's start some seeds in the basement and see if we can get them started. Usually I've always direct sowed them outside, but I don't want to forget in a month to do that. So I thought, let's try it this way first, and then we'll transplant them in a few weeks. It's really chilly today, although at least it's not downpour like yesterday's crazy storm. So we'll see how they do. Well, I couldn't resist. I had a few sweet pea seeds left. So this is the bumper boat pool. Look how much water is in that side just from the storms. Ay, ay, ay. Anyway, so I cleared a little area away, amended the soil, had soaked the seeds. We'll be having an experiment. Which will work better? The planting in pots and starting them, or directly out. Now, it might be a little early, but you know what? You have to experiment. You never know. The place in Oregon, it was an experiment as well to know when the perfect time was. We'll see.
And there's a painting lady. Oh, you can get right up there.
I can get it here. I can't really get up there.
Yeah, that would be tricky.
And I definitely can't really reach that.
Yeah, you're thinking we need to do the ceiling, and I agree.
I know, it's unfortunate.
There's some cracks. That's okay. It'll be good to get it done.
It's
it won't be hard.
very gross. Hey,
Yeah.
you know, I was thinking.
Yeah. Oh, you're on video still?
Okay.
Do you want to, or you can say it if you want.
Oh, whatever. I was thinking, I wonder if we should do the trenching of the electrical
Yeah.
before I do finish coats.
Yeah, I think
'Cause
so.
I don't want sand everywhere.
Yeah, we're gonna trench up the
Yeah.
electrical. Yeah.
Because after you're up here doing all this, I don't really want
No, I did it twice.
it to be dirty.
Fair enough. All done, and just gave the floor our second mop. It's drying, as you can see. I should turn around and get you the other angle. It looks way better. And look at that beauty. Oh man, I love it. I love it. Yeah. Okay, sometimes in life you succeed, i.e. this beautiful range hood. And sometimes in life you have a spectacular failure, i.e. the pizza I just tried to cook. So as you know, we have this great little pizza oven, but we've had some difficulty because sometimes if the wind's up, it just doesn't, you know, get hot enough. So I thought, so we've tried to do it inside a couple times, but of course you smoke the whole house out. So I get the bright idea to get an extension on the chimney and maybe see if it will work. Now it looks like it's working now. Look, it seems like there's heat going out. Is there fire? No. No, it's just simmering. I have no idea why. So my genius idea, smoked out the house, probably put a bunch of, hopefully didn't put a bunch of soot on the side of the Chateau. I'll go take a look. And it didn't get hot. The pizza did not cook. And it cost money. I had to buy those pipes. It's like a triple failure. Didn't work, destroyed the house, didn't cook the pizza. Look, it looks like it's working, right? The smoke's coming out. And part of me is like, oh, I'll just get a longer pipe and get it away from the house. And it doesn't help that the wind's blowing in here. We're in the really cute room with a stone basin. But man, okay, so now it looks like it's coming. Let's go take a look again. Oh yeah, okay, so there the fire came. But I'm telling you guys, it did not get hot. So I don't know. Sometimes you win some, you lose some. Dinner is served.
Thanks for coming, everybody. It was fun to have you along on our adventure, and there'll be more of that to come.